Question answer your present number one to present. She already worried. Wait now. कोई आया कोई आया कोई नहीं कोई आया आराम ये सब छोड़ो ऑडियंस था मैंने बट सबके क्लासेस कैंसिल
Joseph Joubert rightly said, "It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it." A very warm good afternoon to the galaxy of intellectuals sitting before us. Father Vice Chancellor, Father Registrar, Father CFO, Honorable Deans of all the schools, jury members and faculty members of all departments, and our dear friends. I, Namrata Satpati, the Secretary of Literary Club, Department of English, School of Liberal Arts.
And I, Siddhan Das, are going to be your host for today. We would like to welcome you all to the very first event organized by the Literary Club, Department of English, the Sla Annual Debate-2022. The topic for this year's debate is Gender Sensitization Empowers Women. What is gender sensitization? Gender sensitization is the process of making people aware of the gender differences amongst themselves and making special reservations for one or more genders.
A debate's importance is crucial in all aspects. Firstly, at the level of local microcosm, debate participation promotes problem solving and innovative thinking among students. In the process, it helps them build links between words and ideas by making concepts more significant and thereby ushering in social, political, and cultural change. Secondly, at the level of the social cosmos, debates help the government make decisions on policy changes and regulations. A healthy democracy can neither be created nor continue to flourish if we don't debate on topics with varied views.
Before moving on, we would like Dr. Sudha Mishra, HOD English, to felicitate Honorable Father Vice Chancellor Dr. Father Anthony Raj Ovri.
May I also request Dr. Sudha Mishra to felicitate Father Registrar S. Anthony Raj, SJ. May we now request Dr. Natasha Anand to felicitate Dr. Nadira Khatun, Assistant Professor, School of Communications, one of the judges of the event.
I now request Dr. Abhik Mukherjee to felicitate Dr. Payal Das, Assistant Professor, School of Communications, another judge of this event. Swami Vivekanand once said, "Do not believe a thing because you have read about it in a book. Do not believe a thing because another man has said it was true. Do not believe in words because they are hallowed by tradition. Find out the truth for yourself, reason it out. That is realization." Before we begin with this intellectually stimulating exercise, we request the HOD of English, School of Liberal Arts, Professor Sudha Mishra, for her welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Namrata and Siddhant. A very warm good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It was rightly said by H.W. Longfellow, "The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by a sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night." An essence of overwhelming elation sweeps over me on this auspicious occasion when the Department of English, the Literary Club, is organizing its debut event, SLA Annual Debate-2022. I feel supremely privileged to extend my cordial felicitations to all who have gathered here to bless the event, the organizers, and the participants. At the very outset, I extend my very warm-hearted welcome to our perennial beacon, Honorable Vice Chancellor Father Anthony R. Uvri. Your pioneering vision and passionate involvement have always motivated us to strive for best in all our endeavors. Welcome, Father. We are blessed by the benign presence of Honorable Registrar Father S. Anthony Raj, whose prompt support and encouragement have made our paths easier to walk. Welcome, Father. We have been able to organize this event under the transformational leadership of Professor S. Pepin, Dean, School of Liberal Arts. He could not be with us due to some pressing situations in the family. However, he has sent his best wishes and he is with us in spirit. I welcome all the faculty members from different departments who have joined us to motivate our participants today. I welcome the panel of judges, Professor Payal Das and Professor Nadira Khatun. And I thank them for being here, sparing their valuable time for judging this event. I also welcome the lovely audience who is sitting here, the cheerful faces. Welcome all of you. Lastly and most importantly, I welcome the stars of the day, the participants, and I extend my best wishes to all of them. Good luck. Let's hope to listen to some very interesting ideas from both of you. At the end, once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. He is revered. He tops the honors list. He goes for all that is going. Honorable Vice Chancellor of XIM University, Dr. Father Anthony R. Uvri. May we now request Father for the opening remarks. Father, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you. I think this is School of Liberal Arts first time, or Department of English is first time is organizing some event, and the topic is very interesting for me. the topic that you have chosen to debate is very interesting. And it's going to be very tough for both the judges. I can foresee what will be the outcome. Okay? Nevertheless, see, it was a dream for all of us, School of Liberal Arts, particularly Department of English and Department of Psychology. We have been dreaming for 2 full years to start this program. And it is you who have really taken interest and joined us. Right? I must thank you for joining us in the School of Liberal Arts. Second one is, it is you who are going to be a torchbearers. You are the founding batch of School of Liberal Arts. It all depends upon you, how you learn, how you communicate, how you become an ambassador of this particular school. In your network, in your contacts, with your juniors and the upcoming batch, it's all how positive you are, how valuable you are, what are the value addition that you gain here, or what is the academic rigor, or what is the extracurricular activities or co-curricular activities which adds value to you. These are the things that you will take it forward in the media, in the social media, particularly in your own network. Therefore, I say you are the brand ambassadors. You are the brand ambassadors. This kind of debate and all is an opportunity to showcase our inherent talents, knowledge, skill, attitude. It's an opportunity. But I am not worried about the result of this topic. It can go either way, right? But what is important is the learning. The sportsman spirit should be there. Whatever we try, we have to give our best. That is what Magis is all about. In our mission statement, we talk about Magis, right? Magis means what? Great, greater. Always aim high. Always aim high. In the process, when we take up something, there will be some failures. There will be some failures. We shouldn't give up. Failures are our stepping stones for further growth. Right? Therefore, so always strive to aim high, Magis. Right? That is the spirit of the Jesuits. That is the spirit of Jesuit universities. That is the spirit of all our staff and faculty. Magis. Always give the best. Or think something beyond the best. Beyond the best. So never be satisfied with what we have achieved. Right? What we have achieved. Always aim high. Dil mange more. That's what we need to strive for. Right? So at the outset, I must wish each one of you all the very best, all the participants particularly, and I can see you have come prepared very well with all the papers, writings. So I am very happy that you are going to talk about on this topic. Once again, I wish each and every one of you all the very best, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your insightful words. You're always an unceasing fountain of inspiration for all of us. Also gracing us with his presence in the event, we have with us Father Registrar S. Anthony Raj S.J. May we request you, sir, to encourage us with your words of blessings. Father, please.
Thank you, Siddhant. Honorable Vice Chancellor, respected Dean in absentia, Dr. Pepin, respected Head of the Department, Professor Sudha Mishra, faculty colleagues from the School of Liberal Arts, especially the Department of English, faculty colleagues from other schools, respected judges, dear participants from both the teams, and my dear students. First of all, my gratitude and congratulations to the Literary Club, the faculty coordinator being Professor Abhik, Namrata, Natasha, and Anushka, the team lead members, for hosting this particular event, the annual debate, the first ever event of the Department of English School of Liberal Arts. You are making a great beginning today in your department, in the school, and in the life of the academic community of Exam University. Though we have had debates as part of cultural festivals, but this is the first time we are going to have an annual debate from a school and from a club, and therefore my congratulations to you. And my best wishes with each of the members of both the teams. And I, for one, who believe that gender is a social construct, therefore it is dynamic, changeable, and I'm very curious to find out as to how you are going to argue your case, either of you. Especially when you have given yourself the topic as gender sensitization as empowering women. My best wishes on the entire event and for all those who have worked very hard, because I am aware that how a nascent department and a new school, when they host an event, how hard it is with less number. So I have been aware and I have been with you in your hosting this event. My best wishes and my blessings. God bless us all.
Thank you, Father, for an enlightenment speech. I'm sure that everyone here has been captivated by your charismatic words. It is a matter of great pride for the Department of English that Samparna Patnaik, the student of BA English Honours, has recently got her book published. The book is titled, "To All the Feelings I Have Loved and Heard." Can we have a huge round of applause for Samparna? May I now request Samparna to present a copy of her book to the dignitaries. I now request Samparna to say a few words about the book and read out a poem.
Thank you, Namrata. A very good morning to all the honorable dignitaries and respected faculty members and my dear friends. I am Sampanna Patnaik, a student of BA English Honours. I feel deeply honored and humbled at the opportunity of presenting my book titled To All the Feelings I've Loved and Hurt on this auspicious occasion. Before I talk about the book, I must thank and express my gratitude to the respected Dean of the School of Liberal Arts, Dr. S. Pepin Sir, and HOD of English Department, Dr. Shudha Mishra ma'am, for giving me this platform. Let me begin by telling me about my muse. In my imagination, I saw this girl, an embodiment of the world. She went through all sorts of hardships. She was broken, fallen, beaten, thrown. Just like anybody else, she picked herself up. She grew and eventually opened her doors to the world. I could relate with her, and I know everyone else will too. Because this is our story, mine and yours. A story about pain, loss, family, love, loneliness, and happiness. A journey from the stagnant and suffocating past to an optimistic and bright future. The book assimilates together all the silent voices embroiled in the society. I hope this book becomes an inspiration for others to come out of their shells and express themselves. So remember, if you cannot assert your voice, you can always write. Now I'm going to read a small extract from my book. We weren't hurt physically. We weren't broken into pieces like that vase on our table, or that cup that I like to drink my morning coffee in. But as the cup fell from our hands, and the delicate glass shattered into crystal remains, and the warm coffee spilled, I realized how delicate my heart was in others' hands, and how carelessly one can handle it, even though it might be dear to us. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Thank you, Samparna. That was wonderful. I'm sure everyone here is now intrigued and will surely give your book a read. Before we set out with the proceedings, let us first understand the formal layout of the debate. May we request Professor Abhik Mukherjee, Assistant Professor, Department of English, the event coordinator and faculty coordinator of the Literary Club, to take us through the format and rules of the debate, along with the evaluation scheme that will be followed for the debate. So please.
Thank you, Siddhans. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. With the kind permission of our Revered Father Vice Chancellor and our Honorable Register Sir, let me tell the rules of the debate, which is already shared with the participants as well as the judges. But for the audience, I am just telling them again. So as you can see that this is a group debate and not individual one. So there are two groups. One group will speak for the motion and other group will speak against the motion. And there are 10 members in each group. And among them, 3 are main speakers, representative speakers, who will voice the opinion of the group. And the rest 7 will work as a think tank who will be helping the main speakers with the information and logic. There are 3 rounds of arguments in the whole debate. In the first round, that is called proposition round, one speaker from each group will come to this place and voice their opinion alternately. In the next round, which is called rebuttal round, here the speaker, again the same thing will happen. One speaker from each group will come and counter the arguments given by the groups, given by the speakers in the first round. And third round is question answer round. In that round, any person, including the people who are working as a think tank, they can directly ask a question to the other group and they can answer the question asked by the other group. So this is the only chance for the think tank people to open their mouth. So I hope that they will open their mouth. Right. And use of mobile phones is allowed for only for searching information and taking notes, but not for using calls or sending messages. And evaluation criteria would be made by on the basis of 6 criteria, namely strength of arguments, use of facts and data, sense of humor, use of real and relevant examples, delivery of speech or body language, and the strength of rebuttal. Each and every criterion will carry same weightage, that is 10 marks. So total 6 criteria, so total 60 marks. Out of 60, which group will gain more, they will be the winner. So best of luck to both the groups. I want both the groups to win, but I know this is not possible. But what is possible? And I wish that more than that, the diversity wins, tolerance wins, and above all, love wins. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now let us start with the debate which everyone has been eagerly waiting for. So who is going to break the ice? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the first speaker from Team A, Jaisal.
Greetings and my cordial felicitations to all the dignitaries present here. Father Vice Chancellor, Father Registrar, Father CFO, judges, all the faculty members, my worthy opponents, and my dear friends. I am Jaisal Asing, standing before you to voice my opinions on the topic gender sensitization empowers women, and I'm strongly in favor of it. Women empowerment isn't about making women stronger. Women are already strong. It is about making the world aware of this strength. And this is where gender sensitization becomes imperative for empowering women. Gender sensitization is the process of changing the stereotypical mindset of men and women, a mindset that strongly believes that men and women are unequal entities and hence must exist in different socio-economic spaces. It is a general belief that women are the weaker section and need protection and hence become subordinate to men, a sharp discrimination between men and women in terms of their strength, ability, wage earning capacity, and social acceptability, etc., is observed all across the globe. This misconception regarding gender ideology is responsible for all sorts of discrimination. There is a great need to sensitize the men and women. There's a great need to sensitize the men and women that about gender issues so that there could be no discrimination on the basis of gender. When I talk about gender sensitization, I don't only mean sensitizing men about how they should treat women. The corollary of the same is also equally important about how women should treat men and themselves. This is high time that women are made so strong emotionally and mentally that they are free from all the guilt when they are not able to fulfill the archetypal roles related to their families and societies, because we see our wives, mothers, sisters and daughters burning with the guilt of not being able to fulfill their societal and familial responsibilities due to their jobs and their personal ambitions. We dream of a day when men are sensitized enough that they demand the salaries of their men, of their wives, daughters, mothers and sisters to be based on their qualifications and not biased by their genders. This attitude is drilled into us from the very beginning. We have to teach our boys the rules of equality and respect so that when they grow up, gender equality becomes a natural way of life. Side by side, we also have to teach our girls that they can reach as high as humanly possible. I now rest my voice by saying that there will be a day when men and women are seen as equal entities in the society, but that will only come after rigorous gender sensitization today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaisal. You have set the tone for the debate. Let us call upon the first speaker from Team B, Anvesha, to put her thoughts in front of us.
September 2022, a 22-year-old woman, Mahsa Amini, died in an Iranian hospital days after being detained by the regime's morality police for allegedly not compiling to the country's hijab regulations. A clear example of gender sensitization that is detrimental not only to women but to the entire human population. Good afternoon, everyone present over here. I, Anvesha Khilar, representing my team, and I'm here to speak against the motion that is gender sensitization empowers women. I remember being a child and getting frustrated when girls and boys were treated differently just because they were girls and boys. What we usually hear through media representations and pop psychology is that men and women are completely different species with completely different desires and absolutely different traits. This is a model we urgently need to let go of. Not only it is a total fallacy, but gender is something which is not inborn. It is a social construct. It is not biological, but fluid and changeable. Well, there is no female or male brain. The brain is not an organ of sex. We do not speak of a male or a female liver. Then why are we recognizing people on the basis of their gender rather than their intelligence, their capabilities, and their competency? Why at all do we have separate rules? Oh, let me correct myself, separate stereotypes for both the genders. After all, men and women are almost identical chromosomally. Out of 46 chromosomes in humans, there is only one chromosome that differentiates between male and female. And for that one single chromosome, the society treats both the gender in 101 different ways. Psychological research over the last 30 years has clearly demonstrated that men and women are much more similar than they're different on the basis of their cognitive performance, which includes mathematical abilities, leadership quality, aggression, and emotion. But on the contrary, there is a huge lack of women in the STEM field, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is a surprise considering we have the same mental ability. Our gendered and polarized system is not natural. We have made it normalized for all of us. The type of manhood that we value in our culture is someone who has status, resources, has money, is rich, is powerful, is sexually aggressive, and of course is not emotionally vulnerable. And the type of womanhood we respect in our society is youth, beauty, being slim, toned, smart but not too smart, sassy but not aggressive, and of course always emotionally available. At last, I would like to conclude by saying gender sensitization leads to gender binary, which ultimately leads to gender inequality. Although we have made a quite lot studies in gender equality, the differences between males and females are fiercely being promoted in our culture, which needs to be stopped. With this, I would like to sign out. Thank you.
Thanks for this insight, Anvesha. Moving on, I would like to call upon the second speaker from Team A, Natasha.
Thank you, Siddharth. Good morning to all the dignitaries, professors, judges, and my dear friends. I am Natasha Marian Mintz from BA English Honours, School of Liberal Arts. I strongly believe the statement that gender sensitization empowers women. Women have already been minoritized. They have been discriminated not only in the womb and childhood, but in all walks of life. Women play an impressive role in the growth of the country as well as the society. Still, they have to face a number of challenges and limitations which restrain them to understand and realize their potential. Men have always related to the conventions of strong. But why not women? Why women should be born and brought up like a man to be strong? The pain a woman bears while giving birth to a child weighs 1,000 times more than the pain a man gets while carrying a bag. And if they can bear that kind of pain, we can think of how strong they are, how tolerant they are. They don't need to be treated like a man in order to be strong. They are strong themselves. They just need to be aware about their capabilities, capacities, in which gender sensitization plays an important role to make them aware about the power that they hold. From the very beginning of history, women have proved to be good household managers. So imagine a scenario where women from all classes acquire a formal degree in management. Don't you think that education will enable women to run the whole world as successfully as they have been running their homes? This is where gender sensitization comes into picture, because it helps women celebrate their differences from men and assert themselves as women. In fact, women are the best managers without an MBA degree. The people against the motion might believe that there is no such thing like gender and they might profess a genderless society. But here, we need to open ourselves to the eyes. We need to open our eyes to the reality. Looking at the rising number of crimes against the women, objectification of women in every sphere, and the subjection in every walk of life, we can say that we are nowhere close to having a genderless society. It is practically impossible to create a genderless society without a strong gender sensitization drive, by just looking at the small population of girls enjoying the right to education. It is because of lack of gender sensitization there are still many places where the practice of gender-selective abortion or the female infanticide is still persisting. This pertains because of the low status of women in a patriarchal society. In a village in Haryana called Bibipur, the practice of female foeticide was in such a large number that there were no women left in the village, and the men had to travel to another village to marry. Women are the child-bearing population themselves. If the number decreases, then so will the population. Women are not burden to society. They conceive the whole world in their womb. This requires the awareness of empowering women. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha, for your well-thought ideas. Moving on to the second speaker from Team B, I would like to call upon Sampriti Mohanty.
Thank you, Namrata. A gender-equal society would be one where the word gender does not exist, where everyone can be whoever they want to be, because gender has broken the world into fragments. As Simone de Beauvoir said, one is not born, but becomes a woman. Good afternoon, members of the House. I'm Sampriti Mohanty, and I'm here to speak against the motion. Before I state my arguments, let us clear certain basic terminologies. What is gender? The term gender comes from the French word genre, which means types. Gender refers to the socially constructed characteristics of a woman and a man. Gender sensitization refers to the awareness of gender equality concerns. Gender sensitization is required only because women have already been minoritized for centuries. When we talk about gender sensitization, we only talk about women. Women being heterosexual, cisgendered, childbearing, married women. Gender sensitization practices the policy of exclusion. It excludes homosexual women, people born with female genitalia but do not identify themselves as women, people born with male genitalia but do not identify themselves as men, women under the working class and poverty line, sex workers, and many more. Gender is required in order to maintain the gender binary system. Gender binary refers to the societal or cultural belief that there exist only two categories of gender, men and women. Gender binaries create different societal roles for men and women. And as long as gender binaries exist, women will continue to be seen as different from men. The gender binary system states the rule that men must be masculine, that is aggressive, dominant, assertive, and that women must be feminine, vulnerable, maternal, passive. Gender sensitization perpetuates these ideas by upholding the idea of gender binaries. Let me give you an example of a great woman, Chitrangada. An unsung warrior in the Mahabharata, Chitrangada was meant to be a man. Her father had brought her up like a son. She was trained in martial arts and archery, horse riding, and political decision making. She never knew femininity until Arjun came into the picture. Hero worship and admiration soon turned into romantic desire, and Chitrangada began to plan on winning Arjun over. But how would she do it? She prayed. She prayed to be granted femininity. She prayed for transformation. She prayed for beauty and grace. She wanted to become a girl. Chitrangada then transformed her gender. She went on to become a woman, and in order to seduce Arjun and win him over, marry him and bear his child. But shame and guilt overcame her as she thought about her promise to be the future king of the land. And so she confessed to Arjun and continued to work towards being a true warrior. When we say gender sensitization empowers women, we're simply implying that women have been perceived as the weaker section of society, and hence they need empowering. Ever thought why gender binary becomes a problem for women? Gender binary is the societal idea that there is a right way to be a woman. It lays down certain rules for one to follow in order to be recognized as a woman. People are taught from the very beginning that a woman must be feminine and a man must be masculine. Now, even as I speak in the terms of man and woman, it is simply because language is patriarchal, which we are bound to use. For instance, in French, the word femme refers to both married and unmarried women, which would imply that women are destined to get married at some point in their lives. In order to dismantle patriarchy, we need to dismantle language. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampriti, for your fantastic inputs. Next up, we would like to call upon the third speaker from Team A, Vaidehi Agrawal.
We women have all ran down desolate dark roads and barren dark alleys. We women have all shared our live locations. We women have all made phone calls, both real and fake. What's so insidious is that these things do not even feel like special safety tools. They are literally just actions or behaviors we have had to pick up since we were little girls. Good afternoon to one and all. I, Vaidehi Agrawal, am here to advocate for the motion. Having a female body does not teach one to do household work. Having a male body does not ensure one to be fearless and strong. These qualities are instilled in us through conditioning at different stages in our lives within the family, school, or society at large. Differences in gender do exist. They are biologically rooted but are culturally enforced upon all genders. This is because it is one's upbringings that determines who or what they identify as masculine or feminine. Gender is therefore a social construct, and gender sensitization is essential for the growth and development of women in all domains, be it social, economical, or political. Firstly, as far as the social aspect is concerned, the education and healthcare facilities provided to women are very relevant. This is because education to women would lead to the greater awareness of their rights and autonomy, which in turn would lead to the demolition of the patriarchal dominance both in family as well as society. According to the latest data of National Family Health Survey 5, NFHS 5, 30% of women are subjected to physical violence. This needs to be checked through gender sensitization. Secondly, to talk about the economic aspect, the creation of job opportunities is of great importance. Employed women are not at the mercy of their husbands or in-laws and are therefore less prone to financial dependence. Lastly, in the last 75 years of independence, women's representation in Lok Sabha has not even increased by 10%. According to the latest Election Commission of India, as of October 2021, women represent only 14.4% of the total members of the parliament. Lack of gender sensitization has led to the enforcement of pro-women laws in letter but not in spirit. For example, women have 33% reservation in the local government elections, However, they do not get to exercise the real power because of the Sarpanch Pati problem, where women are put as proxy candidates, but the real power is exercised by their husbands. It's high time we change our predominant patriarchal system, which does not encourage women's empowerment. We ought to create a society which is strong enough to accept women as free, independent, thinking individuals and not merely as childbearing machines, as no country could be considered developed until its women are treated with respect through sensitization. Thank you.
That was a very interesting point of view spoken out by Vaidehi. Now, welcoming onto the podium the final speaker from Team B, Shrija Saha.
Thank you, Namrata. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Srija Shah, and I am here to speak against the motion. Kate Millett once stated, "Whatever the real differences between the sexes may be, we are not likely to know them until the sexes are treated differently, that is, alike." The idea of gender is undergoing a revolution as unconventional gender behaviors gain in acceptance. At the same time, however, virtually every societal move away from the gender binary, such as permitting gender-neutral designations on various documents, triggers a corresponding backlash. These controversies bring to the fore a centuries-old question. How fundamental are sex categories? Do humans naturally belong to one of two groups, female or male, that are distinct not only in the form of their genitals, but also in their brains and behavior? However, if humans are mosaics of features, why do men and women sometimes seem to be so distinct? The answer lies in the binary definition itself. Gender sensitization confirms that gender binarity exists, because even the humans do not belong to two distinct sets in terms of their brains and behavior. The binary division of humans into two social categories is real, and it exerts a profound effect on the way we behave and the way we perceive ourselves and others. The gender binary assigns different roles, status, and power to humans with male and female genitalias, and different expectations from them in terms of their behaviors, preferences, and psychological characteristics. It forces a population of human mosaics into a binary straitjacket. Some of the effects of this role assignment may be relatively benign, discouraging people from baking cookies or mastering other skills they might consider gender inappropriate. But many are not. Even in gender-aware Western societies, the binary affects women's and men's career choices, exposes women to gender and sexual harassment, and leave men to die in droves in armed conflicts and in work-related accidents. It is time to get rid of the gender binary. It is time to start treating people according to their own unique mosaics of characteristics rather than according to the form of their genitals. It is time for a world with no gender. We support and demand for a genderless society for improving the condition of the current situation. What is a genderless society? This is in order to avoid discrimination arising from the impression that there are social roles for which one gender is more suited than another. We aim not for a gender-sensitized society, but a gender diversity-sensitized society, which does not just empower women, but all of humankind. It is difficult to banish the word gender completely, but at least we need to try. As we are living creatures, we need to, at the best, try to achieve the things which seem impossible for the betterment of the society. Sensitization only empowers fragmented part of women, that is cisgender, heterosexual, married women, temporarily so. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your precious idea, Shrija. It definitely sent us all to the edge of our seats. Here, we come to the end of round one, And now we move to round 2, that is the rebuttal round. Calling onto the dais, the first speaker from Team A for the rebuttal round.
Thank you. When the world is faced with gender discrimination, not only in the womb and in childhood, but also in every walk of the life, some sections of the so-called intellectuals and my worthy opponents are brooding about the utopian idea of a genderless society. Pardon me, but I find that utterly ridiculous. One of the arguments made by my opponent, Anvesha, was that men and women are similar in most aspects, that women are considered weaker in today's society because they are seen as more emotionally available than men. That was a stereotype that you pointed out. But practically in today's patriarchal society, that is the truth. And if we are to reach that utopian society in the next 50 years or something, gender sensitization is imperative for that. Rigorous gender sensitization is imperative for that. It makes men and women aware about the differences and how it can be like equalized in a very later stage of the society. Thank you.
You nailed it, Jaisal. Now I would like to invite the first speaker from Team B for the rebuttal round.
Thank you, Namrata. First of all, my opponent Natasha mentioned that women have been marginalized. In contrary to that, my opponent Jaisal mentioned that women are strong enough. Pardon me, but guys, you need to contradict with our statement, not among yourselves. And the second thing, talking about Natasha, who mentioned that women have been marginalized. Now, have you ever thought why? Due to gender binary, there arises gender differences, and that makes a class a bit superior that we consider men in our society. And that is what it leads to patriarchy. So it is a never-ending cycle. Patriarchy leads to gender binary, which leads to gender inequality. And the second thing is, why go talk about women empowerment when we can just talk about human empowerment, which includes women naturally? If we are talking about crime against women, then why are we not talking about crime against men? How many of us do really watch or come across the crime that goes against men in the news, in the media representation? Due to gender sensitization, we are detrimenting men, women, and every gender in the entire world. The topic is gender sensitization empowers women. We all know that women have been oppressed and are still continued to be. Does making people aware of gender role really provide the empowerment they deserve? You know, teaching young girls and boys about the gender differences, modifying their behavior, makes them more conscious, not confident. Gender sensitization only raises concern over mothers, sisters, and daughter-in-laws, all whom are cisgender heterosexual women. If we see from the societal perspective too, gender sensitization has always been about a biological diversity. How ironical. Talk about empowering women by making them believe that they are the weaker section of the society who needs empowerment and, of course, sympathy. With this, I would like to sign out. Thank you.
Thanks, Anvesha. Those were some very powerful remarks. Looking forward to hear you speak again. Next up, we have the second speaker from Team A for the rebuttal round.
Okay, my worthy opponent Anvesha talked a lot about. Is it okay? So my worthy opponent Anvesha talked a lot about various gender, but right now we are talking about empowerment of women. So can we stick to the topic? Yeah. And secondly, gender sensitization is not about strong or weak. It's all about bringing awareness or making them aware about the capabilities, the capacities. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. I'm sincerely grateful for your part in our event. Now we call the second speaker from Team B for the rebuttal round.
Thank you, Namrata. Women need not be empowered. Like I said, women have been perceived as the weaker section of society. Now, if you say women empowerment, you're already proving that women are weak. We do not need to be empowered. What we need to be made is aware of the oppression that we have been facing. Have you ever thought about why in schools only girls are checked for their uniform and behavior? Well, why only girls are checked for having long nails? Why only girls are checked for having nail polish? Why only girls are checked for wearing short skirts or if their uniform is above their knee length? Have you ever seen boys being checked for their pants being shorter than necessary? For them having dirty, disgusting nails? For their hair being unruly? No, it's because girls are meant to be prim and proper. But if boys do it, it's natural because boys will be boys, apparently. Have you noticed that chivalry is different for men and women? When a man and woman go on a date, and a man pulls the chair for the woman, and if a man offers his jacket to a woman, he's called a gentleman. But if a woman does it, it's never really noticed. It's a matter of shock for everyone, perhaps. We need a genderless society, Natasha, because it excludes so many others in the society. Like I said, when you talk about women, it's only women who are cisgendered, heterosexual, women who are childbearing, women who are destined to be married, not women who are homosexual, not women who choose to dress like a man. Despite gender sensitization, the abuse towards women and actually all other crimes continue to take place. Gender sensitization does not make a change in our society in any aspect. And Natasha, is the 21st century. We must include everyone, even if we're fighting for women here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampriti. It was terrific. Moving on to Team A, we would like to call upon the third speaker for the rebuttal round. Team A.
As my opponents mentioned, women are weak. Are they? Throughout history, women have been healers, caretakers, playing multiple roles as pharmacists, nurses, midwives, abortionists, counselors, physicians, and wise women, as well as witches. Women have been suppressed and discriminated since so long. It's necessary that women are given special treatment so that women can be seen on the same level as men in the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Vedehi. Now we call the final speaker from Team B.
Thank you, Namrata. So sensitization has always been about women. That's what we are trying to say. How do you define a woman? Okay, here we are talking about the gender of women. What about males born with male genitalia but feel like women from within? Are they included into your gender sensitization? Because all along, all I have heard about are women who can bear children. So those are cisgender heterosexual women. And is a woman proved only strong and has to be empowered only when she bears a child, only when she can bear a child? Do only childbearing women need to be empowered? We need to work towards a world where there does not exist such a thing as gender. If there is no gender, there is no gender sensitization. If that is all there is, a need for sensitizing, it should be for the whole variety of gender and not just the one. And in order to build a society with no gender, We must build a new language from the pre-existent one, or at least one which recognizes all genders. Let this session be the death knell of gender sensitization. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrija.
We now come to an end of round 2. Moving on to the third round, the question and answer round. I now invite someone from Team A to ask questions to the members of Team B.
I would request someone from Team B to answer the questions asked by Team A.
Hello.
As my worthy opponent Sampriti said, we should include all women. So gender sensitization is all about bringing awareness. Why do you think women shouldn't be aware about their capabilities?
I would request someone from Team B to answer the question asked by Team A.
Could you repeat your question once? Just another time. I would like to hear your question again.
As my worthy opponent Sampriti said, we should include all women. So gender sensitization is all about bringing awareness. Why do you think women shouldn't be aware about their capabilities?
Okay, firstly, we never said or stated anywhere that women should not be aware of their capabilities or the oppression that they've faced throughout the centuries. Because Sampriti clearly stated in her speech that women, like the way women were oppressed. What we mean is, like Jasil said, women have already been empowered. They are strong. So I don't think there is a need for gender sensitization and for empowering women more if they're already strong. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I would now request Team B to ask a question to Team A.
Okay, so you say gender sensitization empowers women, but all of your examples given by Vaidehi only stated the differences between men and women. None of a single example stated how gender sensitization actually empowered women. So can you tell me, how does gender sensitization empower women below the working class and the poverty line?
I request someone from Team A to answer the question.
So to answer Archisha's question, we are advocating for gender sensitization for all the sections of the society, which includes the upper class women as well as the poverty stricken women. Mahatma Gandhi said, if we educate a man, you educate an individual, but if you educate a woman, you educate an entire family. So if the lower class, if the poverty stricken women are also educated about their rights, about how they should be empowered, about their femininity, it would also lead to empowering of the whole family. It would lead to the awareness, it would lead to the whole family being aware that gender equality is as important to the society as women empowerment. Thank you.
I would request.
Yeah, hello. Okay, so how would you define
Team A, please pose your question to Team B.
Yeah, please go ahead.
as you rightly supported our point that if women are so oppressed, why shouldn't they be sensitized? Why shouldn't the society be sensitized about women empowerment, about gender? Thank you.
Hello. So whole point is to prove that women are capable to do everything and men are capable to do everything. So why at all we are recognizing a person by their gender and by not their capabilities and their intelligence? That is the entire point of our debate.
I would request someone from Team B to ask question to Team A.
I would like to ask you guys, how would you define a woman and femininity?
I would request someone from Team A to please answer the question posed by Team B.
Can you please repeat your question?
Basic question that how would you define a woman and femininity?
Thank you so much for your kindness.
Okay, I'll go for that question. I'll answer your question with the answer given to us by the society, the societal standards set for a woman. A woman, we are a part of the society. We are also conditioned that way. Women, we've been told as women to look a certain way, behave a certain way, put others before ourselves. That is what is wrong. We've not been told that we have a right to ourselves, an opinion for ourselves. That is what we are trying to say. Gender sensitization awares us, tells everyone what and what not to do. It awares us of our rights and opinions and tells us that it is okay. That is what we are trying to do here. We as women are trying to understand ourselves as well as understand the other side.
I would now request Team A to ask a question to Team B. Participants, please be quick with your questions.
Okay. We can only break gender binary by bringing awareness about the genders. How would you contest that? We can only break gender binary by bringing gender awareness. So how would you contest that?
I would
Someone
request Team B to answer the question asked by Team A.
We are telling the same thing, that gender binary leads to gender inequality, and the differences between a male and a female creates gender sensitization that leads to gender inequality ultimately. Think for a genderless society, that's the reason.
We now request Team B to ask a question to Team A.
Like our team has already specified before, we are the 21st century and we do not believe in empowering just one woman. We do not believe in restricting ourselves to just one boundary. So how does gender sensitization provide the people born with male genitalia but identify themselves as women?
I would request someone from Team A to answer the question asked by Team B. Participants, please be quick with your questions.
As is today's topic, which you are diverting from many times, it is about women. Not about about other sexualities or genders.
Yeah, that is exactly our point. What about the people who identify
You are not allowed
as
to
women?
speak.
You're not allowed to speak. But you don't understand the question.
So you didn't. Our last question, you also didn't understand.
Okay, looks like this could go on forever, but with this, we come to the end of round 3, the question answer round. Namrata, are you still having goosebumps after this interesting and thought-provoking debate?
Yes, it is not just me, but these ideas will linger on for long in the minds of everyone sitting here.
I 100% agree with it. With this, we come to the end of SLA Annual Debate 2022's end. This was truly a wonderful and intuitive experience for all of us. The famous artist Leonardo da Vinci once stated, "Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets." With this quote forever etched in our minds and hearts, may we now request the judges to share their critical comments.
Hello. I actually enjoyed listening to both the teams. Congratulations to both the team. You have done really well. I don't have as such a lot of feedback, but there are certain points that I would like to point out. For some generic feedback I have, not anything specific. For example, when we talk about gender and the women, and more specifically as we have pointed out, and your team lastly have pointed out and reminded us. So when we are tackling any topic, first I believe that you have to, if you are going core to that particular topic and you are trying to have in-depth understanding of that topic, because it's a debate topic again. So 3 components you should keep in mind. The first one, what? Of course, you know what the topic is all about. And then how you are proving your point, right? That also you have pointed out through facts and examples. And the last point, what I think which is a little bit missing, and that's why that discrimination you have pointed out probably 100 times, that discrimination, but why that discrimination is happening, that I think that's somewhere missing in your, both the teams in your discussion, right? So that would have been given you added advantage if some team would have pointed out. All of us, we know because of the age of digital age and media, and also through reading and through academic text, that discrimination is happening, but why it is happening, that we need to know, right? So that I think somewhere or the other, somewhere it is missing. And also, when we talk about women, I think without talking about men, we can't, or without talking about other gender identity, we can't talk about only about a particular gender, right? For example, when we are defining role for women, at that time, we are actually defining the role of men. Because if we are just limiting women in the household chores, that means we are telling men should go out, right? So we can't only talk about one particular gender. Yeah, we are just empowering. If we are talking about gender empowerment, we can't talk about just women empowerment, right? And also, the topic itself, it says that gender sensitization. That means we are, we could have spoken a bit more about all the sexual identities, not only women. So I don't find much about other sexual identities. Only we have spoken multiple times about binary, gender binary, so men and women. So that, I think, some way it could have been much better, and you could have got much more varied kind of perspectives, because at a point of time I was just listening and I was thinking, I'm just hearing multiple times the same thing. It is becoming monotonous, right? You are not getting a lot of perspectives. And lastly, I find your examples in terms of Indian context, the point what I started with, how you could have given a lot of examples from Indian context, though you have gone to Iran, but you are missing out Indian context and the examples of Indian context. So I find you could have given a little more examples in Indian context and how the subjugation and oppression and discrimination, these are the things which are happening, though you have given quite a few examples, but it would have been much more it would have been much more interesting to listen to us. For us also, it would have been much more interesting. Okay, that's all from my end. Probably a little bit of critical understanding and critical points of view I have given. But I thoroughly enjoyed to listen to both the teams. It was really fascinating at your stage and at your level. The way you have done it, you have wonderful. Thank you.
I would say, first of all, congratulations to both the team. Both of you have performed very nicely. Yes, the topic, as it says, gender sensitization empowers women. Yes, it does, but there is always a but along with it, right? So is it just women? It is more, right? It is more about tolerance. It is more about fostering love. It is more about equality. So if this, yes, as ma'am has said, it would have covered different topics, it would have been better. What I expected more from the participants is that a good rhetorics. Okay, debate needs nice rhetoric. You have to persuade your audience. Some of them, like, yes, you did have, but something more. You know, you have to come up with hardcore facts. You all have been Google searching everything, like there it is. So rather than that, your points could have, like, think about the days when there was no Google. Still we used to debate, right? So we used to bring our pointers. So you could have bought your points more little bit of research you could have done. And yes, I wanted more of Indian context. Yes, some stories are there, some more stories could have been there. And you could have come up different topics. So those are something which we expect from you. Yes, something more which we wanted is little bit more of humor. Debate is also about enjoyment. So that could have been there, and you could have said lot of things. And some more, you should emphasize on what you are saying, your facts. You have brought in facts. I like lot of you have brought facts. Something more. And yes, I like like one team has gone and stated about Mahabharata also. You have gone. Another team, okay, this team also, I like the Simone de Beauvoir's thing. One is not born, rather made woman. So all of these things, yes, we actually, this is nice points which has come up. But what more we wanted is rhetoric, where you can persuade your audience more with your speech, with your facts. And persuasion comes with a lot of logic, and there should be much more emotion. You are talking about it, and you are you are a woman here, so you can talk about it. Bring your emotion out here. So that is something which I really wanted to see. Otherwise, I really had fun. It was great enjoying, and it was nice, both of you. Congratulations to both the team.
Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, judges. May we now request the judges to kindly declare the result. May we also invite all the dignitaries to join us for the award ceremony. Yeah, sure. Please take your time. Please take your time. Yeah, sure.
I would request Father VC to come up on the dais and give a few critical comments about how the debate went. Father, please.
See, if you are inviting me, then you are inviting trouble also. If you are ready to take the trouble, then I am okay. I am ready to give the critical remark, provided you are ready to take the trouble. Opinion about the debate. Okay, both the team, as the judges already mentioned, both the team did fantastic. So congratulations to both of you. And only one point critical remark means, see, any debate, you watch the TV, the news channels particularly, anyone, any TV, any channel for that matter, when you are seeing the debate, see, debate also has got some kind of structure, right? For and against structure. And it has that, what the madam was talking about, the emotion in it. Maybe one person, what is your name? Anvisha. She was very aggressive.
Yeah. Aggressive.
Did you hear? Very bold, very strong. So the communication was, you are able to listen. Right? So it should be of that kind. A debate should have, you have to win your point. Whether you are for the motion or against the motion, you have to score a point when you talk. That is the idea behind the debate, right? So therefore, the emphasis, the stress, the emphatic way of talking, your communication, how you counter-argue, argue and counter-argue, little more we can sharpen, little more we can sharpen. We are all learning. We are not the experts, right? So if you are going for next debate, any time, watch the TV. See, the political news channel is one, but there are other programs where the real debate takes place. Real debate takes place. You watch how they approach from each side. There is some fun in it when you talk. There is some data. There are some facts. There are some figures. There are some jokes. Right? Ridiculing jokes. So it has a structure for a debate. Pick up those structures. You know? So pick up those structures. Then it will have a more very powerful debate. More weight will be added to your credit. Okay? That's my only remark. I think your calculation is over. So that's the reason you asked me to talk. To keep the, to engage the crowd. Still they are calculating. But both the team are very good. Good points you brought in. Both the teams. Right?
Thank you.
Yes. So who is winning, who is losing is only a momentary. Yeah, it will come and go just like that. But what you have done, what you have spoken, and what you have contributed matters a lot. Okay? Even if you lose, don't lose heart. You should keep moving. Right? That's why in the beginning I said, even failure is the stepping stone for success. Right. Okay, good. See you. They are ready.
Thank you, Father. May we now request the judges to kindly declare the result. May we also invite all the dignitaries to join us for the award ceremony.
Best two speakers are those.
Best two speakers.
আমি আমরা যারা বোন করেছি আমরা বলে দিই টিম।
হ্যাঁ, টিম তো সেকেন্ডটা।
টিম সেকেন্ডটা।
বল, তুমি বলো only the
Because for us the team which has won is this team. Against the mission. And here we better these marks to be 16.69.5 and this is 16.
we will what I think it would be better, we will just tell two best speakers. These are, we will not tell who is the runner-up and all.
The runner-up team, we have to give shields to the runners-up and then the shields to the
No,
winners.
team we have runners-up, but speakers, I think.
Speakers one.
Yes, yes. So we okay. দুটোই যেহেতু স্পিকার তাহলে this one?
দুটো স্পিকার তো তাহলে এই যে এটা স্পিকার 69
এটা আর এটা
এটা এটা বেদিহি
হ্যাঁ ওকে
রানার্স আপ
কোনটা জানো ফর
এটা ফর দ্য মোশন
okay, we got the result finally, and the runners are team for the motion.
Let's have a huge round of applause, everyone, please.
Please go.
So the winning team is now
You have done really well, but at the end, sometimes
We understand that. I'm genuinely happy. I'm genuinely happy.
you have done really well. Of course, you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Please be a part of the motion.
okay. So now a big round of applause for the winning team. Team B against the motion.
Yes.
To me, it looks like that true debating is supposed to be a funeral of disputes, probably, which is why we were probably dressed in black. All of them. Is that the rhetoric you wanted?
Okay, stand for the picture. Now, most important thing. So, what? One more.
এই তো একটা বাইদেই আর একটা হচ্ছে অন্বেষণ
Okay, now we have two best speakers. First speaker is Vaidehi Agarwal. And we have Anvesha Khillan.
It was very hard actually. Everybody was so good. As Father has initially pointed out that it would be really difficult for the judges, actually it was.
And we literally had to calculate it just by some points.
Even for me it was like 0.5.
Yes, it was like 0.1.
It's not about winning or losing a competition. It's about beating the doubt within yourself and knowing at the end of each day you're one step closer to your goal. Congratulations to all the participants and the winners as well. May we request Professor Natasha Anand, Assistant Professor, Department of English, and the event coordinator to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Cicero, the famous Roman statesman and philosopher, once said that gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. And therefore, taking a cue from Cicero, I am glad to be standing here to propose the vote of thanks. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of the Literary Club, Department of English, School of Liberal Arts, I would first and foremost like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our revered Vice Chancellor Father Anthony R. Overy, whose words have truly inspired us today. It is only because of his unstinted support and vision that we have been able to realize our dream of conducting this event. Father, we are highly indebted to you for lending us your precious time from an ever busy schedule. My heartfelt thanks also goes to respected Registrar Father Anthony Raj, whose able guidance has always encouraged us. I am grateful to the Chief Finance Officer Father Arokya Das for making the event possible. I owe special gratitude to our Acting Dean, Dr. Pepin, in absentia, who gave us the courage to believe in a dream bigger than ourselves, the dream of creating and building the Literary Club of the Department of English, School of Liberal Arts. An event like this cannot be planned overnight, and the wheels start rolling months in advance. It is because of Dr. Pepin's unwavering faith in us through all these months that we were able to envision and organize this event. I express my deepest appreciation, Dr. Pepin, for always being our torchbearer and for leading us toward our goals. A very special thanks to our esteemed judges, Professor Nadira Khatun and Professor Payal Das, for accepting our invitation and consenting to judge the SLA annual debate. I am supremely grateful for the time and support that you have so generously given. I'm also grateful to all the deans of various schools for evincing their interest in the SLA debate competition and for gracing this occasion with their benign presence. I thank all the distinguished faculty members of all the schools who are here with us today and stand in solidarity with the faculty of the School of Liberal Arts. Next, I extend my sincere thanks to all the faculty members of the School of Liberal Arts for their assistance and good wishes. A special mention and thanks to the heads of the two departments, Professor Sudha Mishra, HOD English, and Professor P.V. Padma, HOD Psychology, for steering us in the right direction through constant motivation, inspiration, and resilience. In particular, Professor Mishra's humor in abrupt moments of crisis, disarray, and chaos gave us hope and enthused us to surmount each and every obstacle on the path to success. Also, not to forget that this debate has been led by my dear colleague, Professor Abhik Mukherjee. A very big thank you to both of you, Professor Mishra and Professor Mukherjee. A wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one. The coverage of the SLA annual debate has been possible because of support from the IT team as well as Team Illuminatics. So thank you so much for lending us a helping hand. To UGSAC, a very, very big thank you. Shivangi Das and Shubham deserve a special mention for helping us make this event a success. Thank you also Miss Sashmita Mohanty for smilingly tolerating our repeated interruptions to your already busy telephone line. You have been the galvanizing factor that helped us gather the logistical support necessary to give this event a concrete and coherent shape. Finally, I would like to thank all the students in the audience for squeezing in the time to be with us today despite their hectic timetables. Without your support, we would never be able to put on events like this. So thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, ma'am. We extend our sincere gratitude to all those involved in making this debate a huge success. And with that, it is now time to say goodbye to you all. Thank you for attending this event and making it successful. Thank you for your time, encouragement, and support that you have shown to our participants. This is Siddhant and Namrita signing off the desk. Thank you.